It's crazy. It's crazy how like those old songs are just never ever die. Like that shit is unbelievable to me. What was that? It's like the 80s pretty much.
Absolutely.
Something like that. That's nuts.
He
man.
was the bomb during the 80s, that's for sure.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Making Noise in the Kitchen. I am your boy Carlo Banga, a.k.a. Don Perignon.
And I'm Uncle Mario, a.k.a. the Senator.
Yeah. Man. What is cracking out here in these streets, sir?
What isn't cracking up here in these streets? Let's put it that way.
Oh man. How was your weekend?
Weekend was quiet.
Well,
quiet weekend, which is always good. You know, it's not really, I mean, they had the Strawberry Festival here in town.
Yeah, I've been seeing the signs.
Yeah. So,
but
I didn't stop in.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm not vaccinated, so I'm not going to be stopping in places that are full of people.
Full of thousands and thousands of people.
Exactly. So you can imagine me in Miami, I would be flipping out.
Oh, my Lord. Well, I was in a place with thousands and thousands of people.
You sure were, weren't you?
Oh, man. Yeah, I went to Busch Gardens for the Chitlins' birthday.
There's 6 feet here.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, hell yeah. Because you walk out of there and you tell yourself, I got corona. I carotid. I got carotid arteries. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I walked out of there like a hypochondriac.
And that's my fear, dude. I'm not on the younger age spectrum, so, you got to worry about those things.
Well, I mean, I kept the mask on the whole time.
Right on.
Like, and you're allowed to drink beer at Busch Gardens. So, yeah, I had the mask. I was pretty much doing this whole thing the whole time. You know what I mean? Except when we ate, and then like we ate at a little corner where, there wasn't a lot of people at, you know what I mean? But, yeah, it was like 40,000 people in there.
Oh, my God. You know what? It's almost hard to believe that, we used to hang out in bars that were packed and stuff like that. I can't, you know what? I can't almost picture it anymore.
It's been that long.
It's been that long.
To chill at a bar is just. I'm starting to go back to because I've been to restaurants and everything like that, and as long as I'm kind of away from people, but then I say that, but then they sit us all bunched up.
That's the problem.
You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we go, it's all bunched up, and so like at the end of the day, I'm just like, we'll see what happens. I'll just roll the dice at this point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So,
but it was very, very interesting though. Like to just Busch Gardens lied like a motherfucker. They lied, bro. They said I was watching all the commercials. They said they were gonna spray everything and it was gonna be social distancing. Everybody was on top of each other. Man, come on, everything. It's like Florida is saying we're in full capacity. We're just not gonna tell you we're at full capacity.
I mean, you go down. Listen. We've all seen the last couple of nights on the TV. What's going on in Miami? Is there any distancing going on there? Is it barely mask wearing?
But those people out there are saying themselves, like they're interviewing them. They're like, we don't even give a shit about no mask. We don't care about none of that. They said they're out there to hang out. Enough is enough. They interviewed a bunch of the people out there. They interviewed a bunch of people out there, and my history with that whole ordeal, it's a crazy weekend.
Right.
All right. Well, yeah, this is normally spring break isn't normally the weekend where it's like urban weekend. I think what's that, Memorial Day weekend or something like that?
Yeah, I guess.
So through time, I've noticed. So yeah, my history with working in South Beach and the urban weekend over there.
Right.
I would deliver the chef supply to the kitchens over there, and back that it was a year ago, 2 years ago, there were restaurants that were stopping. They weren't opening when it came to that urban weekend because they
actually lose money.
I would say, they knew they would lose money, and I would say they knew they were going to lose money just because of how the crowd that goes there, what's crazy, everybody wants to party and everything, so you can't have a bistro open and things like that.
Well, and that's the problem that's going on right now.
Well, check this out. So that when that was going on, that was my assumption is just, that that type of crowd isn't going to go to the bistros. And so talking to the club owners and the restaurant owners, they'd say they would tell me straight up, they'd say, I'm not trying to sound racist, but for real, when this weekend comes, we're just going to close because we look at the demographic of what's coming here, and the type of food that they get are chicken fingers and chicken wings. And they just get the drinks from the slushy drinks from over there, the whatever that place is called. And so they're not coming over here wanting these new dishes and shit. So they started closing because of that. So now you have that demographic, right? And then on top of it, now there's violence added into it. Right. They're coming out here getting trashed and beating the shit out of each other in the restaurants and in the clubs and everything like that. So now them doing this and them going against that curfew, you're coming into somebody's town. You know what I mean? And you know how many pockets they hurt as far as waitresses and waiters now, because now to like April 13th or some shit like that, these people are not going to be able to make that money that they were making because now they got to close up shop. They got to be off of the streets by 8:30. So that means your restaurant, you're going to have to close at like 7:30 or something like that to make sure you could clean up and get everything ready so these people can get home safely without getting harassed. You're jeopardizing so many businesses in the culinary field and in the restaurant. South Beach is losing money hardcore because of this. You know what I mean?
Yep. They say all the partiers want to do is just hang out in the street and play music and drink.
And yeah, I mean, all fine and dandy. You want to go out there and party, that's all cool, it's South Beach and everything, but like you got so much weight, so much property out there, so you can space each other, and then you don't got to start spazzing out. Everybody want to get drunk, and they said they confiscated over 80 pistols. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Imagine. Like, and I know I've been going to South Beach since 2001, 2000, the hardcore, yeah, you know what I mean, and dealing with that out there, and I know what kind of crowd. I was one of them when I was young. When I first started getting out there, I was robbing people on South Beach and shit like that in the little alleys. I know about all that, you know what I mean? But it's like now it's gotten to a point, especially with this new generation, that it's everybody wants to do this clout chasing and all that. Now it's no holds barred. And it's like, so the older cats probably looking at these young heads like, yo, I will pop you right here in the middle of the street. You play with me like I'm one of you little boys. So this is all this. Anyway,
it's obviously a bad situation.
Yeah, it's crazy. I would be pissed.
We got to come up. They got to come up with a plan. How many? It is basically an island almost. They can close down that island quick enough.
Yeah.
And just do a certain amount of people.
Oh, you can't. It's I don't know. It's rough.
I don't know how logistical that is, but that's what I would be looking into. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna let 40 billion people into onto this one road. No.
You see, because when you come into that island, you come in through the bottom to the Alton Road, and there's that way, and then you could do the whole circle thing through Lincoln, and I don't see how. They said they have to do the curfew and just stop. And they said if the only way you can come in the island now is if you have a ID saying you live there. And I mean that's good, that's fine and dandy, understandable. But there's going to be only certain establishments that can make money that way.
Right.
And man, that's jacked up.
Well, and
a lot of people complaining because too they just opened up and
right
now.
Well, and I would be like, we're not serving anything fancy for the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We're serving chicken wings and chicken fingers and we're chicken.
Yeah, bullshit. But they already started doing that 2 years ago. The establishments were telling me, they were like, we're not going to open because
I'm saying stay open, just sell the products.
Oh, but they don't do that at all though. Like these certain places don't do that. So
you know what?
But
you
that's
find
not
a way to do
that's neither here or there. That was then. What I'm saying is now is that demographic has been there for so long at this certain time. So these companies already know to close for that weekend. Right. But now because they're coming over here jacking it up. Now it's weeks. These places aren't going to be able to, and it's not only just those establishments that didn't open. You still have the Clevelander and stuff like that still do, cater to everybody and shit like that. But now those places can't even open. You know what I mean? So it's like y'all f***ed it up for yourselves now. But now it's not even about yourselves. Y'all ain't even from out here. Y'all going back home. Y'all gonna be straight. What about the people that actually
Live here.
you know what I'm saying, and going into that city to make that bread, yo?
Yeah.
They already dealt with this whole coronavirus shit. Now they can't because of some.
And that was enough to deal with. I mean, it's still an ongoing project to deal with it. So you could imagine.
Wild as hell. I be tight if my restaurant was out there. I'd be like them Koreans in South Central. Baka, man. Hey, speaking of what was that? Hey, speaking of Wet Willies, niggas at Wet Willies, you want a Wet Willie drink?
Yeah, well, you got a drink you're making?
Yeah, well, it's my own drinking. It's not no Wet Willie. I ain't wetting nothing. Calm down.
Yeah. No, well, yeah.
Yeah, I got a little slushy drink I can make real quick over here. You know what I mean? Cool, this is a little freestyle kind of what I do real quick. I'm going to do it on the cut and then I'll show y'all. All right, so this drink got a little bit of tequila in it.
Okay.
It's got some mango nectar, some strawberries and golden berries, sugar, some chamoy, a little bit of tahin, of course.
Yikes.
And it's gonna be slushy. It's gonna be good.
Was there anything left in the cabinet?
I don't know.
I think you put everything in there.
I don't know.
Good Lord. Let's see.
It should taste good. It should taste really good.
All right.
Pops, let's go.
Some strawberries and gluten berries.
Golden berries.
Golden berries. Aren't they goosenberries?
No, they're called golden. Yeah, golden berries. So like, I always thought they were kumquats from what I was told, and it turned out they really weren't. They're just called golden berries.
Right on.
Yeah, but like gooseberries. Gooseberries. Hold on a second. They're called golden berries, a.k.a. Cape gooseberries.
Okay.
Delicious.
They are delicious.
I freeze them. I got some frozen because they're only in season certain times.
So if you can imagine a fruit that you bite into and it gives you a burst of delight, and then all of a sudden it gives you another burst of delight in a different flavor.
That's what she said.
Nice.
One.
I gotta get nervous when you're on.
2.5, all right? 2.5.
Yikes.
I'm not trying to hurt
I
nobody.
do believe that was 4.
I'm not trying to hurt nobody.
I think I counted 4 or 5.
Maria. A little bit of that. You know? Ooh.
It was mango nectar.
Freeze your glasses. Make sure you freeze those glasses. Make them look delicious. Get a little bit of lemon. Alright, cut them down. Give them a little line, let them hang out. You want some garnish, you know? Oh yeah. Take your lemon and hit the brim right quick, you know? Val. Take a gin. Brim your glass with your Thai gin. It don't matter, you get it. We'll clean that up. Don't worry about it. A little bit of chamoy around the glass. Like that. Take your lemon, put it right there.
No, I'm saying that's perfect for me.
Which one?
The little one.
No. No, you gotta drink a whole one. Little bit of salt. Nothing crazy. This Milagro, Leyenda del Milagro, the Legends of Miracles, right?
Milagros.
Take that shit off right there. Extra shot up top. Extra shot.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Extra shot.
Oh my God.
So now he has no choice. Yeah, I give it a little shot.
Salud.
Salud. Yeah, extra shot to the top. Yeah, over here, over there, you know. Yeah, a little bit of ginger in there. I would have put basil, you know what I mean? But yeah, a little bit of salt, and it gives it the little tanginess.
Yeah.
And yeah, this would be nice to have on the beach. That's what I'm saying. I always like making drinks and things of this nature. I like to make drinks and things of this nature. Like if I'm on a beach, always, you know what I mean? I want to feel good on a beach, drinking and eating. You know
want a tropical drink next to you.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And that's perfect.
Like, I don't understand. Like, dudes, like if they're single, you know what I mean? I'll just get a beach day and like go make some ill shit like this on the beach, and they just come flocking over. Proven. That shit's good.
How do you think it would be with rum?
Good. Yeah, especially Jamaican rum.
Yeah, little spice rum.
Yeah, it'd definitely be good. Oh, yeah. That fruit, the gooseberry, it's a crazy, the goldenberry. It's a crazy ass fruit because, like, you notice if you just eat it like that, every bite is different.
I'm telling you.
You'll get a sour one, you'll get all of a sudden a sweet one. This one, it tastes like tropical. It's like eating Skittles, a pack of fruit Skittles.
It really is.
Yeah,
it looks like a fruit Skittles.
It's amazing.
It's like I actually, last time I bit into one, it actually tasted like one side was grape, which is so weird.
Yeah.
Because here you are eating a goldenberry, and you're getting a grape taste, and then all of a sudden you got a burst of like a little bit of sour, which was so nice.
Those things are amazing. So, how do you really feel about this whole Mr. Biden and the White House with the weed, the whole weed situation?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to put up or shut up eventually. So I think it's, I mean, they promised a lot of people.
Promise them what?
That they're gonna try to pass a law, that to make it legal.
Leniency on marijuana.
I don't think leniency. I think outright
just legalizing it.
Just legalizing.
And that was a part of Biden's campaign, saying he was going to try to do that.
I don't know. I you know what? I never really paid a lot of attention to that kind of stuff from the Bidens back when they were running.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, from what I've understand throughout these times, I thought he was like weed was like whatever for him.
I thought that it wasn't very well known that he, I never heard him talk about it, so that's why I figured, well, that's not one of his things that he's running on. So I really didn't pay attention.
It's funny because I was.
But some of the papers are saying that yes, it was something that he did run on, and now he's turning their backs.
Let's hear this real quick because this is the whole thing of the Young Turks, of the actual information of what's actually going on, the facts of this.
Okay. So Joe Biden's White House is doing something strange. They said that they were going to be more lenient on marijuana, and apparently they are, about 1 to 2 inches. So let's break it down for you guys. According to Daily Beast, dozens of young White House staffers have been suspended, asked to resign, or placed in a remote work program due to past marijuana use. Oh my God. Oh, and look, I don't know if anybody's been fired over having a Coors Light back in 2017 or 2007, but that'll probably be next because this is scary times, man. So let's see what else is in this disastrous plan. Daily Beast continues. The policy has even affected staffers whose marijuana use was exclusive to one of the 14 states and the District of Columbia where cannabis is legal. Oh, great. They got fined for doing something legal. Okay. Sources familiar with the matter also said a number of young staffers were either put on probation or canned because they revealed past marijuana use in an official document they filled out as part of the lengthy background check for a position in the Biden White House. They, of course, made the mistake of being honest in Washington. That is a mistake you usually do not recover from. So then we continue.
What a shame.
In some cases, staffers were informally told by transition.
What a shame. What a shame, you know. And it's just pitiful. You know, if you ran on something, you know, stick to your word, you know. Stick to your word. You know, it's that simple.
They made the greatest point. There's this, I guess, I forget what his name is at the end of this. Dr. Rashad Ritchie. And he made a point, and he said, so you mean to tell me that it's okay for Barack Obama to be the president, you serve vice president with him, and he has a known past of smoking weed. Known past. He speaks about it everywhere. Right. And so you mean to tell me, so now he's not president no more, he wouldn't be able to work for you and the staff, as staff?
Could you imagine? Because you close those borders, right? The problem with people is that they close borders around them. So it's either 100% one way or 100% the other way.
That shit doesn't make any sense to me, you know. Well, I mean, okay, you could be but if you are adamant on your position and you have facts and a basis surrounding your position on what you're standing on, that you're 100% that way, and you've been on that, you know what I mean? Or if you haven't, you publicly say, I have a change of mind or a change of heart. This is how I stand on this position now.
Right.
No doubt. Everybody's entitled to their own position or their own opinion on things like that. You know what I mean? But don't flip flop.
Right.
You know
and if you're gonna say it's not gonna be a priority to go after, say that. Then let the states decide. You know, what state wants to become legal, what state doesn't, and that's by voting, by people voting for it. But you know, don't come. You ran on something because obviously you care about it, I would assume, or you were just trying to please people. You know, I'm not sure.
Man, it's it's I don't know. They said it's the Biden White House right now, right? And it's like, regardless of how you stood on something before now, you're affecting the lives of these young people who are trying to get into the White House, and so they just thought that speaking the truth, they'll be all right. And weed, like, who is looking at weed right now? Like, this is the most diabolical thing on the earth. And so you're playing these kids and telling them, no, you can't work here now. Yeah, we this is the information we wanted. We asked you for, but it worked against you.
Whoever advised Biden on that move, poorly planned.
I don't think that's not a move that somebody advises you on.
Absolutely.
That's something you stand on. There's older generational people that just do not agree with weed. Like, they look at it like if it's a fucking a Schedule 1 drug or whatever the hell they call that shit. You know what I mean? Even baby mama and shit. If you smoke weed and she hears about it, she looks at you like you're doing crack. So there's certain people that think like that, in the older generation especially. You'll never find nobody in the new generation. You'd be like, weed? Okay. What are we talking about here? Like, weed, I know fucking 90-year-olds that smoke weed. That's
I think you know what?
Shit. He's showing his
it's
like that movie Colors. He's showing his true colors, and his color is cracker.
Let the states decide what they want. Then when enough states decide that they want to go legal with marijuana, and then you come out and you pass guidelines. This is what you're going to have. This is how much.
Like, it's been happening for the past 20 years.
Well, but more so now. It would be more like it would be like they'd be like cigarette companies.
It's just, it has to be a government mandate on that. Like, they have to come and just accept it. But it's you're going to states where it's weed isn't even legal still, and they're still treating it as if it's legal. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the problem with the government. They need to catch up.
That is
You
true.
talk about the future all the time. Well, nigga, catch up.
Exactly. That's why, listen, the choice between Biden and Trump was simple. I don't think mentally I could have survived another 4 years of Trump.
It's funny you say choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny you say choice about that because, like I told you the other day, people are having that sense of buyer's remorse right now.
Again, we've only been in office 60 days, people. I mean, you know what? Give the man a chance.
But do you mean it's all right? So you got a pair of jeans that you've been fiending to get. You know what I mean? And you heard these jeans are $400, but then you buy them 60 days in. Them shits wasn't working for you 20 days in your own being. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So people can have buyer's remorse 60 days in.
Well,
I give movies 5 minutes,
and that's what happens. That's what they have to catch up with.
and that shows the future right there.
What it wants, when it wants it, at the moment, at a reach of a hand.
That shows the future. That it's affected music. It's affected creativity in a lot of people because you want to put your shit out there, and people are in it for the now. You got to show me what's up right now. I don't have an hour to listen to an album anymore. Albums are 15 fucking minutes nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's the time, sign of the time. So 60 days president. People like, 60 days president. We've been going through 4 years of bullshit.
The system is so broken, dude. The system is so broken in so many ways. I mean, look at the border situation. All those kids coming in. What do you do? Trump dismantled the system while he was president. For 4 years, he dismantled everything down in the border. So we couldn't take in presidents. We couldn't do anything. Now Biden has to come in and rebuild the system to make it work semi-properly. It hasn't worked in 40 years, 50 years, but he's going to try to make it work.
I'm going to look into that in the next week, into the whole border thing, because like I said, I have kind of like weird views on all that because especially I'm not that educated on it. So It's like, I don't know how to really like go about when anybody speaks on the border issues. So I want to look into it and then we discuss this because that's something very interesting because they're always bringing that up, like this border issue, especially
well, you heard it.
Gun Ho American.
Yep, you heard it in the Trump administration.
Yeah,
it was immigration.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it through the Obama administration. What they were doing with.
Just don't understand how you ain't gonna let nobody go anywhere. Like,
you can't stop people from coming and going. There's nothing you can do. When people want to get somewhere and do something and get where they want to get, that's what's going to happen. It's that simple. It's like a drop of water. You don't think a drop of water is going to cause a crack. Excuse the French, cause a crack, but it's what? It's drop after drop after drop after drop that causes a crack, and that's what gives you the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And when the other countries around the world, and especially in North America, where you've got Nicaragua and El Salvador and all these countries that don't have rights, people's rights, so people are gonna look for a better place. They're gonna look for a better place. You know what?
And then there's a lot of people that's trying to leave the United States right now, like myself.
No, you know what?
I've been always wanting to leave the United States.
Right.
Always.
Right. But
It's not a factor. He doesn't love his country. F yourself with all that if you say that. Right. It's just I would like to experience something else. You know what I mean? And I feel that. So me leaving, if I want to go to, but even if I want to stay they're in Vietnam for 3 months. I said, I want to stay here for 3 months and just chill the hell out, and that's it. There shouldn't be a problem with that. especially if I'm respecting everybody and things of that nature, and we're going along as human beings. You know what I mean?
Well, but things happen along the way.
I think
People
America
get
makes such a
involved.
big deal out of immigration and things like that because they don't have the damn.
Listen,
They can't take care of it.
Our immigration solutions and problems are ours. The rest of the world does immigration a different way.
Exactly.
But nobody's rushing. Nobody's going to let's say Peru. Nobody's going to Peru. Maybe if
I'll go to Peru right now.
There's 3 or 4 people that are going to Peru.
I'll go to Peru right now.
But
I love
to
it.
the United States, you know how many people are trying to get to the United States?
All this
The
click.
land of milk and honey. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. And now they're just
Can't
sending
afford
kids.
it. Can't afford it.
Kids are not like
And
they
then
were
just say that.
30 years ago, where you couldn't let a kid walk across the street by themselves. Today, there's kids walking from Nicaragua to the Mexican border by themselves. 12-day walk, a 13 or whatever it is. Huge. A 10-year-old kid, a 5-year-old kid.
I mean, that was back in the day type of shit. Latchkey kids, you know what I mean?
No, I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking about latch kids. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of miles.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Like we talked about it last episode. My homeboy Hugo,
And
the shit that he was going through.
The crazy thing is, so what happens? So you give all this, you give all you have to this kid, and you tell him get to America.
Yeah,
Is that what you do?
yeah.
I don't know the story. I don't understand the story.
Well, I mean, because you're not there at the sacrifice of it all. Like these people are going through so much fuckery that it's like, son, you have better chances getting on a bus going through the world to get over there than you have here.
Right.
So
I guess it comes down to that.
yeah, hell yeah.
So when you look at it that way, are we doing the right thing by turning people back?
No, I don't, and I don't think we have the right to do it neither. I know everybody's looking at it as an economical standpoint. You know what I'm saying? America cannot afford taking in all these people. And then, of course, they're looking at, they're going to be on welfare and food stamps, and us, the taxpayers, are going to have to pay for this. No, I mean, what happens if America stops being idiots and gets with that country, says, hey, we'll work with y'all mugs, but y'all going to have to dish out some bread here and there. You know what I'm saying? Or something. There's going to have to be some sort of something in order to make this work. But then, it's the peace treaties, and there's politics that get involved.
Well,
But
that's the
so at the
issue.
end, it's like it's like you saw it in Scarface. You know what I mean? They came through and they interviewed all the immigrants and they broke them down. They looked at them. God damn it. They looked at them and they said, show me your tattoo. Where's that from? Nah, you ain't no fucking family, man. You're a killer. So we'll put you in this camp. But then they deem that to be hardcore, you know what I mean? And we could go on and on for days with the immigration thing. This is why with this situation, I want to dig more deep because it's one border. It's
like
one
I
border.
said, it's one border, but it's so difficult to come up with a solution because you're not dealing with one country. You're not dealing with Mexico alone. You're dealing with Mexico, Nicaragua, Venezuela. You go run down all of North America. Those people are trying to get here, and they're trying to get here every single day. So it's hard to see.
I have a lot of friends that came true here the same way.
I don't know. I really don't know many people down here, so I really can't. I have never heard somebody's story about how they got here.
I mean, yeah, not even in the state of Florida. I have friends like from other states that, yeah, it was the same. And then weird routes that I would learn from, like them coming from Canada and things like that. So imagine the other kind of journeys, you know what I mean? Look at Francis Ngannou. He was talking about he's about to be, in my opinion, heavyweight champion of the UFC, but he was from Africa and he went through all these countries and
until they finally
like
landed here.
Man, oh man, like
it's crazy what people will do for freedom and trying to get a piece of the pie. The problem is that they don't realize is that everybody here is also trying to get a piece of the pie.
mm-hmm.
And here we are, people that were born and raised here, and we're still eating shit. You know.
Why is that?
I don't know why it is. I mean, we work all our lives. You know, we work all our lives, and then you die. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? What's it all for?
Did you see? I don't know how true this is. I gotta look up some more. Look up some more information. But from what I hear, that so you heard that Spain legalized weed, and they are starting 32-hour work weeks.
Amen, brother.
And I can believe that. That's why I question it, but I can believe it because Italy, they've started things like that a long time ago. There's an hour in the middle of the day where you're gonna take a break and nap or whatever. The city as a whole, you know what I mean?
America in general does not use up 90% of the people in America don't use up all their vacation days to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
We are workaholics. That's all we think about is the next and the most and what's next. And you know what?
And then there's people that are not workaholics.
What about life? Exactly. And what about, trying to just enjoy life? It's so difficult just to try to fucking enjoy life.
No.
I mean,
well, you know what? It's difficult if you make it difficult. You have the choice. There's ways you can maneuver things to make it that it's not difficult in order to enjoy life. You know what I mean? And I think it's like you almost get to a point of where you've stressed things for so long. It's like enough is enough, and you're gonna get to that point somewhere in life.
Right.
There's gonna be a point in life when it's like none of this affects me.
Well, but shouldn't it be
because
while
we
you're
all
still
die
young and you're still vibrant and you can enjoy the last few years of your life? Shouldn't it be then? Or
well, they say you make it to be to that point.
Right.
They say, meaning that everybody isn't at that place yet, but there's people that show that they show and prove that you make it to get to that. You can be young and make it. You only let things bother you. The only things that bother you is what you let them. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
what I'm trying to say?
What you let bother you.
Yeah, it's like if it bothers you, you're letting it bother you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's times where you ever been to that point where you've been fed up with something to the max, and then the same thing that always happened, it happens, and you're just like, I'm not surprised by it. So why am I gonna let this shit bother me right now? I'm gonna go back to doing what I'm doing.
Right.
But you get to that certain point, so maybe throw an audible in the play. Maybe change the way you're thinking, change the route, and get to that point a little bit earlier. You know what I mean? I think that's a good way to do it. And I wish I could have done that 20 years ago, because there would have been a lot of things, relationships, mindsets, and things of that nature would have been a million times better.
Right.
You know what I mean? But of course, everybody goes through a learning phase, you know what I mean? But it's all about how you learn that situation, you know what I mean? Then especially, it's like, look at it as that you've been through this situation millions and millions of times before, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just because of the adrenaline that's going through you at the moment, you're looking at it different when it's the same shit that's been going on for years. This ain't new, especially at our age. This shit ain't new.
Oh, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. This is new. Today's world, dude.
It's really not.
From
There's
a
just
year
different
ago
circumstances.
from a year ago last week till today, we're in a different world. We're in a technical world. You want to connect with somebody, you're gonna have to get on a device and connect with them. There is no connection about, hey, one-on-one, me and you, we met at this. No.
It's been like that for years, man.
No, it hasn't. Before you could go out and you can meet people in the mall and you can,
When's the last time you gone to the mall besides this last time?
About a year and a half ago.
So you mean to tell me you was going to the mall before the coronavirus like that?
Yeah.
Nah, I never.
I always had to go to the mall because I had to buy my uniforms at Old Navy. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
Old Navy.
I was buying. So yeah, you know.
Nah, I just had to take a sip. I'm still listening. You just stop right there. Keep going, nigga.
No, it's just the truth. You know, I mean, listen, I've never been a crowd follower. I don't like to be in crowds. I've never liked to be in crowds. The only crowds I like to be in is like at 9 or 10 o'clock at night when the place is hopping, the music's pumping, and people are just there to have a good
I
time.
think that's what it is. You really ain't been out in the mix of life of things like that.
Well, no, who has? Who has been out to the mix of life of things? You know, who has? Have you? No.
From Busch Gardens, we all f***ed up in the game. We coroned out, nigga.
Well, that's true. I forgot about that. Oh, thanks for throwing it in my face.
No. But that's not. But that's what I'm saying. That now at this point, look, we are getting we're getting back to normal. Regardless, I think the way it's looking, the news and Dr. Fauci and everything, they're trying to push this, the plateau and things can get worse and new variant and things like that. We said this maybe 4 or 5 episodes ago. Nobody gives a f*** about that no more. Okay? Now, so if you're nervous about that factor of people getting sick, this is when you wear a mask, maybe 2 masks. You could still go out. You know what I mean? You take a vaccine and you go and eat at these restaurants. You go out to a bar, whatever, wear your mask. We just went to Busch Gardens, and like I said, I was drinking my beer like this. You know what I'm saying? So you could go to a bar if you feel that's the way. And then if you meet somebody or whatever,
Right.
then if you're going to, it's just like anything else. You're going to start, maybe this is a new mysterious factor about the whole dating scene. You know what I mean? It's like blind dating. So it's like, oh, you're starting to feel comfortable. I feel comfortable. Lower your mask, girl. Let me see what's going on. No, I'm good. I'm good. No, thank you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? This blind dating. Look at it like that. Make the best out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But things are, I think, because there's really no hardcore martial law, right, you're not going to have a control on the people on whether they want to go out to the restaurant, to the sushi bar, to the bar, to the bowling alley, to Busch Gardens, to the strip club.
It's going to be up to the restaurants.
It's going to be up to the establishment and that person's discretion. You know, there are people walking around here with no mask, and they have been walking around here with no mask for close to a year now.
Right.
So
it's true.
It is what it is. I think people, and you know what, you said that earlier. People place them barriers around themselves. They place those.
Well, but not. I didn't really consider this as one of those things that you put barriers around.
But you have to with this day and age, because of how things have changed. You have to. Look, it's just that the political game has soaked itself into that as well. You have to look at it like that. People are looking at it like, I don't have to fucking wear a mask if I don't want to. And if you look at me crazy for not wearing a mask, then we obviously don't need to be together. That's how people are thinking.
Right.
And so it's like the same thing. No. If I'm wearing a mask, if you're not wearing a mask, then we're obviously not thinking the same way.
Right.
So it's like people are getting, I think it's more of a, remember I told you the statistic of natural disasters? You know, when these natural disasters happen and there's hurricanes and there's earthquakes that destroy people's lives and they're homeless or, you know, for months on end, and it doesn't matter. Women and children go out the window when that shit happens. It's the same effect. It's the same sort of PTSD.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, and I think you know, emotionally, I think America has been, not only America, I think the world has come off for the worse. You know, that this attachment of other contact, you know, I think is gonna come back to bite us in the ass. I think people become very complacent. You know,
complacent.
Complacent.
Yeah. And Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to. Well, complacent with what?
Complacent with everything. You know what?
With the virus at this point.
No, I'm saying okay, I'm home comfortable. I really don't need anybody. You know, why should I try? Why should I even try? You know, I'm not saying that's me, but I could see that happening.
No,
so
but
easily.
I
mean,
understand.
we spoke about a couple of weeks ago about the VR, and that if if everybody had a VR, it'd be a huge addiction.
You know what's funny about that? It's like that's a psychologist's way of about masturbation and pornography.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They say if you watch too much of it, you get this certain way of thinking,
Right.
And then you can't approach women or whatever.
Same
you know
way.
what I'm saying? Because you're like, it's all good. I'm gonna bust his nut anyway when I get to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, and that's so it's almost like that. So the government is
They're
forcing.
desensitizing. People are getting desensitized every
And
day.
so and that leads it to, this is why we're at where we're at. This is why South Beach is going fucking crazy.
You know,
Because you've got those people that ain't my style, nigga. No, that's not what I do.
What's the? I'm sorry, but what's the guy that got choked in the street by the cop in Floyd?
George Floyd, yeah.
George Floyd. We watched a man die on national TV. We are desensitized as a country.
Yeah.
We've seen the worst of the worst of the worst on our TVs. In Vietnam, we saw kids being lit on fire and running across the street. We saw tanks just plowing through people. You know,
This is life, man.
it is life. It is life. But we are so desensitized.
People used to call
That's
it
why
history.
Nothing else is important. You know what? I go put a bullet in your head while I'm walking down the street. I don't care because you know what? You are not a person to me. The only person that's a person is me. Everything else is just a figment of my imagination.
So that's right. You gotta handle business. Handle your business and keep going through it. Keep going through it. And I ain't taking none of all this other crazy shit personal. It is what it is. It's just gonna. I think people need to follow a goal. That's it. And it's good when people follow a goal. You know, whether it's medical, whether it's vehicle, whether it's culinary, whatever the hell it is. Fulfill yourself that day and continue to wake up the next day and be like, you know, let me follow this. So I could see that happening. And then once it happens, you'd be like, God damn, you did it. So now if I die, I die. That's the world. Everybody knows they're going to die. Or I find another fucking goal and do something else.
Well, and that I guess is what gets from point to point is finding goals. You know, I think that people get to. And I know for myself, I have gotten to a point where I have gotten so depressed that the goals are just not important anymore, you know. But I'm slowly coming back, and I'm slowly, you know, getting back to grips with things. You know, it was just, you know what?
I understand it. Yeah, I understand it.
I'm talking because it's truth, and I'm talking to possibly help somebody else. We've talked about the suicide hotlines and all kinds of stuff. You know what? They're out there. Use them if you need them. You know, because it does get to a point where enough is enough is enough.
Have you gotten to that point as of recently?
No. So.
Because I understand it. You know what I'm saying? We're going on 57 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not stopping it. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things when it starts flowing, just let it out. You know what I mean? You always have to do that.
And like I said, this is the first time in months that I've probably talked so much. You know, so maybe things are getting better.
Hey.
You know? And I've said, you know, and I told you, I said, you know, first thing I have to do is just work on the house and get rid of the house. Yeah, that's my first and foremost thing, and that's what I'm trying to do.
And that's what I'm saying. So you know, it's regardless, you're above a lot of people and what they're doing. There's a lot of people underneath, a lot of people out there that are doing that are going through a lot of shit they don't have the stresses that we have.
Well,
But
and they don't have the options that I have. I mean, luckily I've had insurance, and so that's what I'm living off right now. Is that part of insurance? So I'm seeing doctors and I'm seeing people that I need to see. But there's a lot of people that don't. So where do they go?
Yeah.
Even with insurance and some issues, you still can't find a therapist. I still haven't been able to find a therapist. I got a psychiatrist, luckily.
And this is what, 2 episodes later?
Two,
3?
episodes, yeah.
So that's 2-3 weeks.
So, yeah. So, luckily, the medication's working, and it's making me a little stronger every day. But, it's a long road, and, I'm one thing at a time.
Yeah.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
So, I'm feeling better.
Yeah. Straight up. I know it. And that's all you can do. And I say, keep yourself occupied. You know what I'm saying? And just know that it's like everybody has to relax. I went through the stage where I was beating myself up with everything, and I was worried about tomorrow, how am I going to live tomorrow and everything like that. But it's just, there's always going to be somebody there, especially when there's people around you and they're always around you. They're going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Certain situations, but you feel that you can pick apart. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're not dumb. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Regardless, it's shit. These are the times.
These are the times, brother. These are the times to put up or shut up.
Shit.
So you just try. You just you just get up and do it again. And that's what it is.
Oh yeah. You hungry? Oh wait, hold on. Jeet?
No, I didn't eat. Thank you very much for asking.
We're gonna do some Martha Stewart day. Martha Stewart shit today.
Martha Stewart recipe, huh?
Yeah, I found out she did this. I mean, it's one, and it's crazy. We're gonna put it down. We can still talk. Like, this is how easy this shit is. Is one pan, just let it sit there and do its thing.
Nice.
Well, actually, I'm going to do something before that. Damn, hold on. So that's one pot pasta. This is going to be cool. It's just very clean veggies, water, a little bit of seasonings, and just let the starch come out of the pasta, and you get it together. And I'll explain as we go. But this cheesy bread, we're going to saute some shrimp real quick and some goodness and everything.
So is that like an appetizer?
You can eat it. You eat it together.
Oh, right on.
But it can be an appetizer.
Right on.
I would put pulpo in this. I got a can of pulpo in this mug,
Yikes.
right, that I would put on this cheesy bread, but I'm going to take it easy tonight because I know my guy over here, you know what I'm saying? So he likes shrimp, but regardless, I think more than anything, it's the cheesiness and the texture and the garlicness that's going to take everything.
Take it home.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Very cool.
So through the video, you'll see the processes of this, and there's going to be, we're not going to go into it, but yo, this is one pot pasta. This is what spaghetti is vermicelli, and cheesy shrimp bread, cheesy shrimp garlic bread. Yeah,
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Make a noise in the kitchen. First, we're gonna start off with the shrimp. We're gonna saute some shrimp over here. This is what's gonna be the little topping on the bread, because the bread is gonna be a quick flash. Just put the toppings on with the cheese, let the cheese melt, boom, and then we're good to go. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So let's start off with this. Put a little bit of olive oil. Make a little bit of pop. Watch out. You know, ain't no thing. Yeah, let it heat up a little bit. A fully loaded bread. They do this a bunch of places, I believe. They should. Anyway. Shrimp up in there. Should be about a good amount right there. All right. Of course, throw a little bit of adobo.
Shrimp sizzling away.
Tú sabes.
Little adobo, if you don't do adobo, you might as well not do it.
Fresh cracked pepper. A mixture of smoked paprika and Florida Everglades. Of course, a little bit of sal.
Sal.
Now, you don't got to go crazy on cooking these all the way because they're going to be in the oven. So you don't want them to overcook. You just want to get these prepped up. You know what I mean?
Moist and tender.
Throw a little bit of butter in there.
A little dab will do you.
Step back a little bit. Take the pan away from the heat. Throw a little bit of tequila in. Turn for the flame. Flambe.
Flambe, baby. Look at that. It's awfully pretty. Burn that alcohol off.
Exactly. Move around. Got a nice little char on it. Lost a soldier. It's all good.
5-minute roll.
That's it. Take it away from the heat and let it chill for a little bit. Let's prep for this one pot pasta. Cut a couple veggies to get in there. This is a very clean pasta. Like I said, I think Martha Stewart was the one who invented this, apparently.
Right. It's got to be clean if it's made from Martha.
Oh, God.
Eh.
Get yourself some beautiful cherry tomatoes.
Nice sharp knife.
Well, like always got to have a sharp knife. We're going to talk about this damn restaurant that want to here shortly after this meal. Man, what a crazy restaurant.
When you were Tampa bound.
Yep, Tampa bound. I like to cut these on the angle. Boom. I got my oven at 450 degrees right now. That's waiting for the cheesy bread. All right. You don't want to, you want the cheesy bread to be done at the same time. This one pot pasta is going to take about, I think, 15 minutes at most because this is vermicelli. It's a thinner pasta. It's not as thick as spaghetti. So I'm going to add some pepper flakes. Right here, just add some fresh elephant garlic. Squish it down. Get that juice out of there. Just to the side.
The tomatoes make such a nice color, background.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be filled with nice colors. It's gonna feel good to eat, clean. It's gonna be a real good one.
Nice.
Just slice down some onion in thin slices because you want to get all the flavors out of this easily because you're not doing much. All you're doing is it's just gonna be a little boil. You know what I mean? So some nice thinly sliced onions. It's quite all right. So now throw the onions in there. Try not to get the paper in there, even though it really don't matter. But nice thinly sliced onions. Now, people are going to think, you're just boiling this pasta in here. If you ever heard of this recipe before, you're just boiling the pasta and that's it. But the starch that comes out of this pasta is what's going to add, it's going to give it the texture that it needs.
The weight behind it.
Yeah. I used, this is a yellow onion for this, you know what I mean? I was going to use some shallots, but I feel this is going to give a little bit more of a better flavor for what we're doing. All right, got some nice basil leaves. Take the stem off and just tear. It's going to let the oils out of it. This is going to give it a nice little douse of flavor too. You got this whole stem. I'm just going to...
Nothing like some fresh basil.
Oh, man. This is going to make it even taste even fresher. And with those stems, I don't mind. It's quite all right. Gucci, a little more seasoning over here, right?
What kind of seasoning was that? All purpose?
Yeah, that's that paprika, smoked paprika, and some of that seasoning that we put on the shrimp. Put a little bit. It's not gonna overbear it. And this is the crazy part. Just let this pasta sit. That's it. Alright. So this is 1 cup of water. I need a lot more than that, obviously.
I was gonna say 1 cup of water is gonna do that. Good lord. So the water's barely gone over the top of the pasta.
Yeah, I don't want to. Like I said, I don't want to put too much water. You know what I mean? Because the pasta is gonna release the starches and everything like that, and if you put too much water, it's gonna just be like boiling pasta water, and
right.
With you know what I mean. So now this bad boy is gonna sit here and just. We're gonna bring it to a boil and then let it sit for about 15 minutes, and you're gonna see at the end of this thing is gonna be done in nice little clean pasta. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna fix this bread up. I done got some vinegar and made a mojo, simple mojo.
Right on.
And we're gonna coat these breads with it first.
Just making your garlic bread.
Pretty much, nice garlic cheesy bread.
Smells delicious. Garlic always smells good.
No matter what time of day, no nothing. All right, those damn shrimp that we done, that we was manhandling over there. Let's just go and fill these boats up. These are the captain's ships. Now, usually I mean, like a real seafood lover, we'd go balls of the wall on this thing.
Ham hocks all the way down.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever it be. Fried peppers, like fried sweet and hot peppers. These are like Italian sausage sandwiches, a New York sandwich you get from up New York.
Right.
Got a little bit of olive oil on them. Adds that more flavor to the neighbor. There you go. Beautiful. A little bit of salt. A little pepper. Don't be scared, just add little lops of butter across here. Let them spread apart nice.
Those are called dabs of butter. Little dab will do you.
Yeah, exactly. Start out with a Parmigiano Italian Romano blend. And get your Colby Jack mixture. And don't be scared. Don't be scared neither. Like I said, I got my my oven at 450 degrees. Yeah. I got my pasta over there doing alright. Throw this in the oven in a couple minutes until it gets brown.
Good Lord, that looks delicious.
Simple as that.
In the oven. What do you think? 10 or 15 minutes? That's beautiful.
Beautiful. All right, about to plate this up.
All right.
Clean pasta, real quick, simple presentation. Coat it nicely with cheese. Right in the middle. See, it's so coated with cheese that it's just
sticking. Look at that.
Those tomatoes and those onions and some garlic.
Oh my God, that's
Nice
delicious. That looks so light and airy and just fresh.
Let's do a little bit of olive oil. Some fresh pepper, cracked pepper. Slide this right in here. Take that little bit of basil. Should come up. Put a little bit of that right there.
What you want to hear that crunch?
And it's hotter than the food schnickens, B.
That's a beautiful thing.
You have it, ladies and gentlemen.
In Spanish, they say "se deja comer," which means it'll let you eat it. That's for sure.
Shrimp, cheesy bread, and one pot pasta.
Very nice.
Trial and error.
It's very good though. If I had to pay for it, I'd be happy to pay for it because the cheesy bread was just. I mean, that could have been eaten alone as a meal. It was that good.
Yeah. And well, what I say, you can actually make that and serve that as like an appetizer, and that would be dope.
And the pasta was very tasty. It was just a little dry.
Yeah. So now it's like adding a little bit of chicken stock.
Right.
Will get you going. I would even think about, like I said, baking that, making a casserole, because I have seen casseroles out of vermicelli. They chop down vermicelli. Right. That's almost like an army thing. I used to casseroles in the army. Yeah, they chop down the vermicelli, and I never ate it because they put peas and carrots in it. They
make it like a stew.
They crackerized it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They put like it'd be like what's that pasta that I don't really like, the white one. Yeah, Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo.
Yeah, chicken Alfredo. It's like that Alfredo sauce is like that, but
sauce.
with peas and carrots and then casserole.
Yeah, they try to make it like a pot pie almost.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, something like that. But I ain't with all that.
But that was very good. It was very filling. It hit the spot, and like I said, the bread alone could have been a meal in itself. So, and the pasta's very heavy. I mean, it looks very light and everything else, but with that cheese on there, it's heavy. So you're getting it's sticking to your ribs. That's a man's meal right there.
Yeah, that thing will pack you right. That's a good winter meal or something like that. But that thing
absolutely.
will handle your business right there.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. I'll put it on the menu if I perfected it. It needs to be perfected. The bread, I mean, I could do tons of things to that cheesy bread.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen this stuff with crawfish, lobster. Oh my Lord! Like the list goes on and on. Yeah, you could do some craziness with that
shrimp,
thing.
But you could do it with anything.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And don't cook the shrimp all the way and then throw it on the bread and throw it in the oven and expect to have good shrimp. You know what I mean? It's gonna be you will overcook the shrimp. That's gonna be crazy. Just cook them halfway and then put them in the oven. It's gonna be at 450 degrees, so it's gonna do what it's got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But definitely something, man. Yeah, the bread alone, like a Friday movie night or something like that, and just chilling, watch it. Yeah,
it's like
you good with that.
It's like having a French bread pizza.
You know what I'm saying? You could dip that thing in ranch for all my Caucasian friends out there. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, that should work.
So yeah, I definitely pay for it.
That's what's up. Yeah,
I'd be very happy paying for that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that reminds me. Like this weekend. I had my it was Corona Fest over in Tampa, Florida.
Right.
40,000 people plus, you know what I mean? But
you guys went to Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
Experienced the rides.
But there was a restaurant that I investigated before I went out there. You know what I mean? And when I went out there, it's funny cuz we almost didn't go to it. We really didn't almost go to it, but then I was like, you know what, that's it. Everywhere else it was just like, Jesus said, Get your ass over here.
Right.
And thank the Lord.
The name of the restaurant was?
Thank the Lord I did. The name of the restaurant was called Rooster and the Till.
Rooster and the Till.
Now, just a reading of what this is on their website, but it says, we've launched a new tasting menu this month which flirts with Japanese flavors. A few of the courses are interactive to keep it light and creative, and to keep it light and create a fun dining experience. Chef Pharrell Alvarez approached some classic dishes. Like the tamaki and the katsu sandu, but put a rooster and the till spin on them. Come taste for yourself. Now, when I did the research of this restaurant and these chefs, I know that these guys are known. They have a restaurant. All right, it's pretty much down the street from where this was. we went in there, and it just like, I'm not no, I'm just regular ass person,
Right.
and we went in there, and the owner sat there and explained every dish to us, and
Wow.
the attention that he showed to the kids and everything like that, and explaining to them so to make sure that they would have a grasp of the menu and to enjoy it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then it was refreshing to see something like that.
Very
You know
cool.
what I'm
It's
saying?
very rare. Yeah.
And so what we got here? This place is located in Seminole Heights. This area is historic kind of town, right outside the hood or whatever.
Right.
But
In
you know what I
Tampa,
mean.
Oh, down Tampa.
That strip right there had a number of restaurants
Right.
that were looking off the chain, and if I had more time, I would have definitely at least experienced a little piece of it.
All right.
But the time that we had, we went into this restaurant and we experienced the whole thing. There was a couple dishes we didn't grab, but like I said, it's made the restaurant's by Chef Pharrell Alvarez. If you see, like, you walk in there and we were sitting at the bar, and it's like a square. I'd say this square was maybe 6x6, and that's their kitchen. So they got this thing constructed.
Science, yeah.
They got this thing down, and you see the chef owner, Chef Pharrell Alvarez, sitting there cooking. He's putting his hands on each dish, obviously. You know what I mean? And then Ty Rodriguez, that's the man who was sitting there with us and explaining everything. It was definitely dope. And what I love too is every server came up to you. And one thing that I loved is that every server that came up to you with each dish,
Right.
they knew every single aspect of what was in that dish.
That's what makes a good waiter.
And they came up, and it was because we ordered. Let me pull up the menu real quick, and I can. He first explained the sumac charred coulini. It's a mixture of like kind of like broccoli and cauliflower, and of course they char. It's reminding me of the Italian I forget what it's called, but it says broccolini, pretty much. Yeah, broccolini. It's the long one, and they make it at the sandwiches with the sausage and peppers over in New York. So, but we didn't end up getting that. You know what I mean? So we ordered the not pork dumplings. Those were they were really good, a little spicy. You know what I mean? But homemade dumplings with a filling inside, and it had like a good Oriental sauce on it. Amazing.
So what kind of food was this?
They're saying like their mixture is just them. It's them, but they're on the line of Japanese, a mixture of Japanese and the style of their first restaurant, which is American bistro kind of. You know what I'm saying?
So they're trying to combine the
two.
two.
They're just being creative in their own way. You know what I'm saying?
That's nice.
So and a lot of these dishes I've heard of a lot of these dishes, but they're putting their twist on them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the cobia collar. That reminds me of the hamachi collar that they had made out in Miami. The hamachi collar was something that the back of the restaurant, after the whole fish, they have that collar left, and it was just the scraps of what the guys in the back were cooking. So they made this down, and it ended up being a dish that came to mainstream because it was so damn good, because the collar is the most tastiest part of the fish. It has the most the flavor of what you want. So these guys did a cobia collar, and I saw a couple order it next to us. I was like, I'm slipping. I really should order that. But there was the ones that I was like, let me go for the radar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the smash burgers, of course, that you know what I'm saying, they ordered that. They were nice. You had the choice of the double or the single, and they were good size, personal, and that's what they take pride in from their like original restaurant.
And what kind of burger was it?
It was a regular what is it? So it's they have their paired with aged Gruyere cheese, and they made their own pickles. I got some pickles in the fridge right now that I'm making myself. So I was excited about that. So when it came out, my son got it. First thing I did was grab the pickle. Very, very f***ing good pickle. Very good pickle. I didn't try the burger, though. I was like, yeah, let him, yeah, I didn't try. Yeah, it's a beef burger, yeah. I didn't try it, so I was like, it's all good. Let him do his thing. Right. Totally fine. But next time I will. Anyway, so you order in the burger. Now, this is the thing with this restaurant. They have their set menu. But it's like they want you to try a little bit of everything, so you're just going to get that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he was explaining, and they thought that they were going to get french fries with the burger. These fries come separately.
What's it called? Avant-garde? Where it means you're just ordering one thing, and then you're just
Yeah, I forget.
Flavorings.
Stop testing me on live TV, nigga. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not even probably close.
It's something I know exactly what you. But basically, it's like you have these. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dishes here, and these is like 13, 14, 18, 17. This is what you get that. So I knew what this was about, and so I was like, all right, let's go and let's get these fries. They're potato wedges. And so it came with a Cambozala fondue, which is this cheese that they make a fondue of, and it's on the bottom of the plate. You're going to see the picture here. And then they get these potato wedges that are charred beautifully, put them on there, and then they made this pickled Calabrian chili relish. Now, It's spicy. It has a little spice to it, but it was almost like eating a taco fry.
Very nice.
Or like a
Seasoned fry.
Can you say that? Yeah. Like a very good seasoned fry, like very, very different, very, very cool.
Nice.
And you got 6, 7, 8 fries there or whatever, and they're the wedges, and very good match with it. You know what I mean?
A little olive oil on top of it, and nice.
Exactly. You know what I mean? They had the pork belly there. We didn't try that. I'm just pork bellied out, kind of. But then I saw the egg. No, this is what he ordered. The eggplant goat ricotta raviolo.
Nice.
That's what you got, right? All right, so it's a tomato olive oil emulsion and chili hazelnut pesto that they put on top of it. But it was like these raviolis, like a thin ravioli.
So it's stuffed with that.
this goat cheese.
Oh,
It was stuffed with this goat cheese.
Nice.
So it was with this goat cheese. And let me tell you, he ordered that and I tried it, and this was the first time in a while that I tried something and it put me somewhere. It wasn't like, man, this tastes like this or this tastes amazing. It was like,
right.
Oh shit, I'm at mom's house.
I
was in Virginia.
Right.
I was in that atmosphere, the smell of the house, the old wood and shit like that. That's what I tasted eating this.
Right.
And it was very shocking. So he gave me that, and I was like, well, why don't you try what I ordered? And I ordered the gnocchi. All right. But these gnocchi, I don't know if you remember, for school I was making they're like the eclairs kind of ordeals. They use the patouche. They use that same technique and made gnocchi like that.
Oh wow.
And it had these short ribs that were shredded and just tender, tear apart.
Nice.
He took my plate.
You swiped his plate.
We ended up trading plates. He loved that one so much. It was great.
Wow.
And like it was just like, wow, like it's almost like a thin lasagna.
Crazy. Sounds delicious.
Unbelievable, and I was like, all right, so there was a couple other things on the menu. I was like, oh, we're good right there. And I was like, all right, we're gonna get something else. Let's really do this. And I ordered the birria lamb neck quesadilla with the avocado yogurt. Now they made a yogurt out of this avocado that like it was really like tasted like a goddamn yogurt from Yoplait with that
Nice.
was avocado flavored, and took green onion and charred it to where it would turn into a black dust, and I would add the smokiness to it. So you take this lamb birria. Now remember the lamb meatball sliders that we ate?
Right. Yeah. That was delicious.
Imagine that shredded like perfect, like and in a quesadilla that I cut it up, and we just dipped it in the cooling yogurt of
The avocado.
these fucking guys did something over there. I was totally impressed, man.
Right
And like
on.
it looked like you can look around and see that every single person there took pride in working there, and they enjoyed being
Sure.
there. Like that man, it was something else. And just coincidentally to have that the owner to just sit there and tell us off everything, you know what I mean?
Right.
Seminole Heights. And it's a little historic area right there, 15 minutes away from the park, from Great Event, Busch Gardens or whatever.
Very cool.
And in the middle of everything, and then 15 minutes away from the city. Got a cool little Airbnb out there, and chilled out, and like it's a I definitely do it again. But man, these dudes definitely. So I didn't get a chance to go to Armature Works, which I really want to go to. It's like a little warehouse filled with restaurants. They do pop-ups and everything like that.
Oh wow!
But I will definitely say that I will definitely take another trip to Tampa for just alone a culinary adventure.
Right on.
And so that's something definitely to look forward
Maybe
to.
do
And I
some
will
taping.
go. I will go more hardcore. I will go more hardcore into filming it and things like that because they got more to offer. And I think that's the closest thing next to Miami that we have in a culinary adventure out here. And I think it's a cool thing to do. So we got to do that, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
But yeah, shout out. Let me pull that up. I don't want to get nothing wrong on these dudes. Shout out to the Rooster and the Till. Rooster and the Till over there in Seminole Heights. Chef Pharrell Alvarez. And of course, the host, the man who was so polite to us and showed us everything, and just the way he interacted with the kids and everything, and he was all there. But of course, Mr. Ty Rodriguez, shout out to them dudes. That was dope, and I can't wait to go back out there.
Very cool, man.
Straight up, yeah, man.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yo, let me give them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but shoot, that is what it is. What's up, Senator? You got anything?
Woo! It's been a long night, man. We went
hard tonight.
We went hard tonight.
Hour and 44 minutes, but it is what it is. We had to get everything out.
But well deserved, and we'll be back next Sunday.
We got some treats for y'all. We got some more things coming. More dope recipes, and we're gonna look into getting back out there and talking to these guys at the Rooster the Till, because that was definitely dope, and we need more things like that out here in the Treasure Coast.
And hopefully, when things open up, like 100%, and people don't have to worry about craziness, we could do some local stuff.
Hey, one thing, let me tell you, we walked into that place and they gave us temperature checks with a thermometer to our head. They don't do that out here.
Nope.
So they got it under control, and anyway, man, they're doing their thing, and we can only be as grateful to have shit like that out here. Exactly. Hopefully, we can change the mold and start doing shit like that. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? This is your boy Carlo Banga, aka Don Perignon,
and this is Uncle Mario, aka the Senator, saying, "Have a good night.
Making noise in the kitchen. We out."
Making noise in the kitchen.